The price of Resident Evil 4 on iPhone is actually a good thing. Let me explain why. So if you didn't know, Resident Evil 4 is coming to iPhone for $60. That's a high price to pay. That's actually the same price as on console and on PC. Some people are upset with this, but I think this is a good thing for the future of gaming on mobile devices. Free-to-play games are great in some ways, but they can also be very predatory. They often rely on in-app purchases to make money, and these purchases can be very expensive. This can lead to players feeling pressured to spend more money in order to progress in the game. Typically, when a game costs money up front, it can usually mean that the developer is committed to making a high-quality product, such as Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil Village. They don't need to rely on in-app purchases to make money, so they can focus on making the best game possible. Resident Evil 4 is a great example of this. It's a full-fledged console game that has been ported to iPhone. And if this does well in sales, this could potentially lead to more games coming to iPhone that don't have that freemium pay-to-win model that you mostly see in a lot of these free-to-play games on iPhone and Android. What I would like to see in the mobile gaming space is that we actually move forward on just a one-time price, a one-time payment, and then you own the game. Remember Angry Birds? That was like 99 cents. You know, that and some tax, but there you go. Full game, no in-app purchases. But now with all these freemium games, it's really hard to come by a decent quality game at a decent price. You're usually met with things like pay to win mechanics, pay for more time mechanics. All these things are just horrible, and Apple's solution to that was Apple Arcade, and it's doing relatively well, but I would like to see some more full-fledged games come to the iPhone and to the Android devices that aren't this free-to-play model that seems very predatory, and most of the time when we get the advertisements for it, it's not the best. Raid Shadow Legends, I'm looking at you.
Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa! Zergal, put down that axe.
Now, I know that Resident Evil 4 and Village do include in-app purchases, the larger amount being an expansion to the game, pretty much, so just a more content added to the base model of the game. And the smaller items are little weapon upgrade tickets, which aren't necessary to progress in the game at all. And these are also in both PC and console versions, so it's not like they're just including them because now it's the mobile version. These have been there since the game came out, and actually there's content missing from the original game on console and PC that isn't included, like little costumes and stuff I didn't see from the description, but that might get added as we get closer and closer to the game's release. Now, keep in mind, I don't want to see every publisher put their game on the App Store for $60. That would be insane. But I am hoping this inspires developers and publishers to create good quality games for one price. I'm also hoping the success of these games also brings more ports from other developers to the mobile platforms, like Little Nightmares, which is coming out on December 12th for $5.99. I'm also really interested to see what Apple's mobile CPU and GPUs can do, especially with more games from console being ported to iPhone. Every year, Apple announces a new A-series chip for their latest iPhones, but I don't see many games taking advantage outside of Genshin Impact and some other games. So I am curious what games come in 2024 and how Apple will handle thermals on a device this small. But I do feel like there is a little bit of a downside that we might not see that many games come next year. The reason for this is because of the 70-30 split that Apple still charges. This might be still an issue and not worth the effort for some companies to actually bring their games over. So hopefully Apple can figure out a way to bring more games over. I'm sure a lot of these games that have been brought over currently have some type of backroom deal. Not fully sure on that, but you can imagine something's going on for a lot of these companies to be willing to bring their games over, especially when knowing that a lot of the games that are on mobile are free to play. So it'll be harder, and you have to kind of fight tooth and nail with other developers who have their free to play games on there, and they're just making hand over fist with in-app purchases versus, here's this $60 game. Are you gonna buy it?
What are you buying?
So those are my thoughts on that. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Stay wild.